Welcome to the DC Bike Ride. I'm going to pan the camera around and just take a look. There are thousands of people here. Native Washingtonians, people who live in the DC metro area. There are folks who have come from states around the country, all descending on the nation's capital for this historic ride. My main job here is to help you understand exactly what to expect and how to make the most use of your time, because it's not just a bike ride, it's an entertainment event that's really good for you and members of the entire family. So stay tuned as we take a full look at this event. My first pro tip for you is to get here early. They do try to start on time, even though every year they start late, but it gets to be really full. This is pretty early in the morning. As you can see, there's a lot of empty spaces. As we get further on into the day, it gets literally ram-packed. So my best advice to you is to get here. The hardest part about the bike ride, in my opinion, is going to be finding a parking space. Parking is going to be very limited. You can take your bikes on the metro. A lot of people bike their bikes in and park at their jobs and then bike it over. But usually there's going to be some type of difficulty getting your bike to the starting line. And it's kind of a starting line for intermediate, advanced, and beginners. If you're renting a bike, there's opportunities for you to do that, but these bikes here are for rent. They can go the full distance. They are gonna cost you about $20, and I was surprised that there were so many Capital Bike Share bikes available right at the start line. If you are not familiar with the DC metro area, there's no need to be concerned, because there's lots of maps at the start line to help you understand exactly where you want to go. But it's very intuitive. All the roadways are shut down, so you don't have to worry about cars. The folks who plan this event, they go overdrive to make it fun for everyone. What they're doing right now is a workout to try to get people's muscles loosened up before the race, and they try to make it fun for everyone and the entire family. This was my first DC bike ride, even though biking is a passion to me. I've never done it before. So one of the concerns I had was, who was I gonna see there? And was it good for young people, old people? You know, it's 20 miles, and I know I can do 20 miles, but I wasn't sure my kids could do 20 miles, so I didn't bring them. That was a big mistake. There were lots of kids there from all ages, young and small alike. And I was surprised that they were able to finish the race with no problem. There's a lot of energy there at the start of the race, and it's contagious, and it gets them into biking, and it just pushes them along. It's a fun family event that's really fit for everyone. In addition to seeing lots of families there, I also saw lots of teams. They were all wearing the same jersey, so it was really easy to spot them. And they had a great time. Not just teams from the area, but teams from all over the country. That was surprising to me. The next big question I had was, what type of bike should I bring? And in my opinion, the best type of bike that you could bring is a road bike. However, I saw a lot of different types of bikes. I saw tandem bikes was the big thing where, families were, using that. But there were also lots of electric bikes, and there were a lot more electric bikes there than I had thought. So if you have an electric bike, a tandem bike, a road bike, a mountain bike, it doesn't really matter, because I saw every single type of bike there, and there were literally thousands and thousands of people. So no matter what kind of bike you have, it's right for this race. If you're thinking of leaving man's best friend behind, well, no need. I saw quite a few people that brought their dogs, and they had them on the back. And I thought about bringing my dog, but my wife wouldn't let me. But you can bring your pet. Now, if you wanted to register on the day of the event, unfortunately, you cannot do that. They don't allow that. However, they did have a pickup location for you to pick up your registrations and stuff. The next big question is, what type of biker, should come to this race? Well, they broke it up into 3 different levels. They have the advanced, then there's the intermediate, and then there's the beginners. So I think you can find one that belongs to you. If there's something wrong with your bike when you get here, no need to worry, because they'll fix any problem with your bike. Now, I strongly recommend, if you have something wrong with your bike, or if you think there's a problem, get there early, because at first this area was empty. This is where they fix your bikes, but then after, as we got closer towards the start, it got really full. So definitely make sure your bike's in tip-top shape before you get here. There are lots of things that I enjoyed about being here. This was my first bike event. However, the thing that I didn't like was the fact that we started late. You can see there are thousands of riders here. I was in the intermediate, and this is the intermediate, and they let them go in waves. So the advanced goes first, followed by the intermediate, and then by the beginners. And we're right next to the Potomac River, and you can see there are thousands of riders. What does that mean? We start off pretty slow. There was a lot of this, walking with your bike, riding and then stopping, but it only lasted for about maybe 15 minutes. There were a couple areas where we were in a bottleneck, so we had to get off our bikes and slow down. But again, this was only doing the first 15 minutes. And again, there are tons of different types of riders, tons of different types of bikes. So don't worry about whether or not you're fit, or you think this is gonna be too much for you. I think that 20 miles seems like a daunting distance, but really it's not that bad at all. So we are going to go on iconic roadways, iconic portions of the city. And I just want to remind everyone that this is the DC bike ride. You see there are people of all different skill levels, and not the bike race. If you want to make it into a race, I strongly recommend you get into that first group of advanced riders. But outside of that, it's the DC bike ride. You should really only be going about 15, maybe 20 miles an hour at the most. You don't have to ride all the way through. There are rest stops along the way, 3 different rest stops. So what are you going to find at the rest stop? Well, you're going to find an opportunity for you to sit down and get a load off. There's going to be bananas and other snacks there for you to eat. I've been to some bike rides, and the rest stops are really stocked. This one, not so much. You're going to find, adequate amount of stuff to eat, but it's not a huge variety. So it was okay. Rest stops are about every 7 miles or so. So it's adequate, but it's not the best I've ever seen. We're a little bit past the midway point. There's still lots more to come. This is a great time in the video for me to do a shameless plug on my channel. I specialize in fun and interesting things for individuals and families to do in the DC metro area. So if you're looking for something unique and fun, then you should check out my channel. And the best thing you can do to help support it is to like and subscribe. Now, as you can see, there's lots of iconic things we have passed. We went through Roslyn, and we're going now towards Georgetown. We're just passing the Kennedy Center, and we're going alongside the Potomac River. So one of the great things about this bike ride is all the historic sites that you hit. And also, I just want to talk a little bit about, the fact that the whole entire route is blocked off for you. So we're going to see later on in the video some police vehicles that completely block the route. So you're not going to encounter any cars whatsoever on this bike ride. One of the things to watch out for, and there weren't many of these, is that there's a few sharp turns. And when I say sharp, I mean like you have to really slow down to about maybe 3 miles an hour in order to make this turn, navigate this roadway. You can see if there's a lot of bikes that are coming down here, it can be dangerous. So just be in mind, there's about 3 turns where they're a complete U-turn. And if you're not careful and you're coming too fast, you're going to create an accident. There was only about 3 you know, collisions that I came across doing the bike ride. So there's not a lot that happens, but you still got to be careful. So let me talk a little bit about the difficulty of the bike ride. We're in Washington, D.C. It's not Florida, so it's not flat. There's going to be portions where there's going to be a little bit of hills. And I say hills because it's just a slight upgrade, but we're not talking anything major. It's not entirely difficult. You see that guy right there? He's going way too fast. He's going over 20 miles an hour. But at any rate, I digress. There is not a lot of hill portions or upgrades. It does have a lot of rolling hills, so it's not a flat ride, but it's not terribly challenging either. Here is another stop. This is in Virginia. So we go from DC into Virginia. And as you take a look, there is not a lot of stuff here, but this is a great time, especially if you have kids, to stop, get a glass of water, freshen up, and just relax. But you can see the rest stop, you're not going to get a variety of food, but it does give you the opportunity just to kind of regroup and refresh. I definitely recommend you stop at every single rest stop if you have kids. They'll enjoy the experience a lot more not being so fatigued. In my opinion, the best reason to go on the bike ride is because it has iconic sites that you're not going to find anywhere else in the country. Right in front of you right now is the U.S. Capitol building. All the roads are shut down. You don't have to worry about any cars. And seeing the iconic sites all along the road is absolutely one of the top reasons, in my opinion, that makes this one of the best bike rides in the country. There is still more to come because there's a festival afterwards, but I'm going to kill the music to show you what coming into the end of the DC bike ride sounds like. One of the benefits of not being the last to finish is that you get to the end and get a lot of free swag, more than you're able to carry because you're on a bicycle and you have no pockets or storage space. But there's lots of free stuff at the end of the bike ride in a big celebration type environment. Another pro tip for you is to bring something that has pockets. Usually bike shirts have pockets in the back, but if you can bring a small backpack or something on your bike, that's going to be very helpful for you to carry things at the very end of the bike ride. Also, a lot of things are provided for you absolutely free. I strongly recommend, don't think that, hey, I can do this later. Get in line and get it done early, because when that massive bunch of people who are at the end come in, this whole entire area is swamped. You're not going to be able to find anything that's left over. You're going to find things that are picked over, and you're going to find lines for things that used to be completely empty. If you really enjoyed the bike ride and want a memorabilia t-shirt, you can buy one here. The stuff here is extremely, in my opinion, overpriced. I got a shirt at the end and it was $30 for the shirt. This right here is a beer area where you can drink beer after the bike ride. Not sure how that makes sense, but looking at the people over there, they look like they're having lots of fun. So, I'm not gonna knock them. Also, if you are hungry and want something to eat, there is food available for you to buy. The food is not free, but there are lots of food trucks and other vendors available for you to buy stuff to eat. This, in my opinion, is the tent where you got the most bang for your buck. This bike ride is supported by Fit DC. So in order for you to get a free t-shirt or even get a free massage, all you have to do is participate in the workout exercises that they do. And these people all right here are gonna get a free shirt for just basically stretching after the bike ride. There's also this stage that provides a little free concert for you to get yourself moving. And you can see they are up there having a good time, and I actually participated in this and it was fun. overall, I had a great time. It's going to cost you around $80, maybe $100, depending if price goes up. Kids are a little bit less expensive. I think that's great because it gets the entire family involved and makes it a little bit more affordable. One of the downsides is if you want to go longer than 20 miles, you're going to be out of luck. And so some riders, they really wanted to keep going, but again, out of luck if you want to go more than 20 miles. But overall, the DC bike ride, fantastic event, definitely worth going.